It's a blessing to welcome on one of the first commits now in 2022. There's Pinion. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Pretty good. Well, it's off your shoulders now. You're committed. Take us through what's going through your mind.
I'm just really excited. It's been a relief to just have it off these last couple of days.
And this really all started the past few months. Your first high major was Kansas, which is a pretty big high major. And you just start going through all these offers. You go through this process and you're here today. You're committing to Arkansas. Take us through this process.
So whenever it started with Kansas, I was really excited. I was ecstatic. All these offers started coming rolling in. They just came one after one in the next couple of weeks, and it was overwhelming. I knew I had to start getting back to work because at the time I was still on crutches because I tore my NCL and my MPFL. I had surgery on that, and then I just got back to work a couple months later, and then whenever recruiting period started for 2022 to be able to talk to coaches or them to text us. I was just getting blown up by Arkansas all the time. They were constantly hitting me up, and I just loved the energy they were bringing from day one.
Now we see the 2020 class, and they're loaded, a top 25 class, and they have a lot of guys from hometown. A lot of guys Coach Walson's been able to keep home, and I've done the same thing with you. How has Coach Walson been able to do this? Why is he able to get guys to stay home?
He's a fantastic coach. He's a great recruiter. He just brings so much energy. He really cares about his players. It's just like there's no other place you'd rather be than Arkansas.
The common thing between guys that go to Arkansas is that he's almost more like a friend too at the same time. He's just that energetic guy. He's almost like he's in his 20s. How excited to be able to be in the atmosphere?
It's just amazing. Whenever I called and told him I was committing, he was ecstatic. I could hear him. He started yelling. He was banging on the walls. It was amazing. I loved it.
Now, before you actually got this recruiting process, before you got the offer in April, you did take a visit with them before. What was that visit like?
It was fantastic. They took me around campus, and it was beautiful. I loved every second of it. I can't wait to get back up there.
A signature move that I don't think any other coach ever has or will do again is how he recreates different games and different images from basketball. Yours was the LeBron James and Jason Terry posterize. What was it like? Was that your idea? Take us to that time.
So Coach Muss asked me if I wanted to go take a picture. I was like, yes, for sure. And then he has like a little photo book. I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling this, but he got like a little photo book of like all the pictures. And then I just saw that one. I was like, yeah, this will be lit.
I'm guessing, you've talked to other coaches. Do you think any other coach would ever do that?
Nah, I don't think any other coach can do that.
Absolutely. Well, growing up, I don't ever like asking this question, but growing up, was there a school that you kind of dreamed playing for? Was it kind of your dream school? Was that Arkansas or was there someone else?
I always watched Arkansas. I never really thought about playing college basketball until like a couple of years ago. I didn't really think much about it. And then, I got my first offer in ninth grade. I'm like, yeah, I could really make something of this. And then from then on, I really wanted to go to Arkansas.
And you are committing a lot earlier, one of the earliest guys in 2022 now to commit. What went into this decision? Why do you know now's the right time?
I just felt like God placed it in my lap. Like he just put it, I prayed about it. And then just all of a sudden, Arkansas picks up their recruiting so fast. They didn't even know. They just picked up their recruiting, and it just meant a lot to me. And I just felt like God just laid it in my lap for me.
Now you have your entire junior season as well as your entire senior season before you get out there. What does Coach Boltzmann want you to work on and improve on before you get out there?
He wants me to keep my shot sharp, just keep doing what I'm good at. He wants me to get stronger, get a lot of faster, just, be able to keep up with the guys in the SEC and be able to play and come in and make an impact.
You mentioned your injury you had. You had surgery, cleaned it all up. But take us to the surgery. How's it recovering? How do you feel right now?
I recovered, I think, really fast. I came back in like 4 months, and I was able to play. I came back bouncier, stronger, just everything. I felt like my game actually improved a lot because I had a lot of time to just study basketball and like just pay attention to the game and really work my mind through it.
Because you're committing so early and you weren't really having a top 10, you didn't have a top 3 or whatever, just was you put on your story saying, I'm committing tomorrow. I just want to go right away and commit.
I just felt like there's no need to wait. Like I knew where I wanted to be. So I just took it and I ran with it.
For you, when you're considering it, were there any of the schools heavily in the mix? Was it maybe a number 2 or 3 option that you were heavily talking to?
Uh, there were other schools that were really I was interested in, but nah, nothing like home. You can't be home.
Absolutely. Now, 2020's got a special class to mention. 2021 still being put together. Chance Moore's out there. Cole's out there. How excited to play with any of those guys that would still be there when you get out there?
I'd be really excited. They're great players. I've seen some film on them before. They're really good players.
We are a little whiles away, but 2022 is now officially in the works with you committing there. Are there any guys you personally know that you'd want to play with?
None that I can think of. I'm not gonna say any names, but I know I'd like to get some of my guys from Arkansas in the team on the team. I really want to play with them. I'd be really excited.
And 2022 is another special year, a lot like 2020 in terms of Arkansas talent. We see probably one of the biggest guys is Nick Smith. Do you guys have a close relationship at this point?
Yeah, Nick's my guy. We used to play on the game all the time. Before school started and we were in quarantine, we'd always be on 2K and stuff, just talking noise a little bit.
What would it be like to possibly play with him at the college level?
I'd love to play with Nick. That was my guy. We played eighth grade summer, and it was a special group.
A guy like him also has a lot of offers, heavily recruited. What would you say is the defining factor? What separates Arkansas from every other school?
This is just the best, in my opinion. It's home. You're right there. Fan support all over the state. You just can't beat it. I can't even explain. You just can't beat it.
Would you say there was an impact of seeing all these hometown guys stay home and go to Arkansas in 2020? Did that have an impact on your guys' class and potential other future classes?
No. I was set. I wanted to go to Arkansas for a while before even Devo and all them committed.
No doubt. Well, let's get into your upcoming high school season. It's going to be a big year for you. Upperclassmen now. You're coming off an 18 point per game, 8 rebound kind of season. What's the goals for you? What do you want to get done this upcoming season?
I just want to win a state championship. I don't care about anything else. None of the personal accolades matter to me. I want to win a state championship, and I want to help my guys get some offers, go to college for free. That'd make me more happy than anything else ever could.
And that's taking on a leadership role, which is critical for you, being a top guy. How do you plan to lead the locker room? How do you kind of plan to get you guys together and go out for a state championship run?
Well, I've always been a leader in our group because our group has been together since my seventh grade year. I've always played up with them. We've just all been together. We're all really close. We're not in a leader follow type of role. We're all the leaders. We're all the alphas. We all working out there on the court.
Who would you say on your team are some of the breakout players? Who's some guys that we could expect to see have big seasons on your team?
Devin Foster for sure will have a big season. He's really improved so much since last year. Brock Hendricks, we just got him. He moved from CAC. He'll be a really good player. He has an offer from Lyon right now. Darius Allison should have a really good season. He's our best defender on the team by far. He'll lock anyone up. And just looking for a big season from him this year.
When you look across the state, all the teams you might play against, who would you say is the dream team? Who's your favorite team to go up against?
I don't have a favorite team to go up against. I just want to beat them all. If I could beat everything in the state, that's what I prefer to do of anything.
Well, let's get into your AAU season. You didn't have much of it. It got cut short, but you got some little opportunities to have there with Joe Johnson Hawks. Discuss why you chose them first, though.
Johnson Hawks, I just feel like they're the best program in Arkansas. We put together a really good team this year. A lot of people got saved from COVID. We were gonna make some noise.
And being in that environment through SSB as the Adidas League, how excited were you, and what do you want to go out there and prove if you did have a season?
I just want to prove that I'm one of the best players in the country and that I can play with anyone.
No doubt. Well, you look at Arkansas, that is the state that's continuing to develop, add more and more talent each year, and you're starting to get a little bit more of a spotlight on you. What's the future of Arkansas basketball hold?
The future of Arkansas is extremely bright. Not even just the college, the teams and the players in the state are just extremely good.
Let's go back to Arkansas a little bit. They are in the SEC. It's one of the best conferences out there, and they finished 10th last year. A little bit of rebuilding, improving year. What do you expect to do? What do you kind of expect for them this upcoming season?
I expect great things. I think they'll be a very good team this year. They could easily compete for a national championship for sure.
And being the SEC, how excited are you for that?
It's the best basketball conference in the country. I'm really excited to be a part of it. It really excites me.
Absolutely, man. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One is kind of building a legacy for yourself, which is something I think all guys want to do. So when you are done playing basketball someday, what do you want your legacy to be?
I just want people to know that I was a good person. I don't want them to remember me just because I was a basketball player. I want them to know I was a good, godly person. I always follow God, and I try and help as many people as I can, no matter what.
I want to get into your leadership role. You talk about how it's kind of always been your role. When did that kind of start settling in? When did you learn to be a leader and kind of accept that role?
So in seventh grade, I moved to Morrilton. I made the big move to Morrilton. And my first coach there, Coach Adams, he really he was the first person to really believe in me, say I'm an alpha, I'm good, I can be something basketball wise. And he just kind of forced me into that role, and I just been that ever since.
That's helped lead you to what you said before in one interview that you had two of your favorite moments ever came in the same week, two game winners. What was that week like, and what was going through your mind when you hit both those game winners?
So that week we had 8 games in 9 or 10 days or something like that. We played a lot, and it was so the first game winner I hit, that was the first game of the week. I was feeling really confident. I was happy. I hit the game winner. We just turned up, and then the very next, I think it was a week from then, I hit the game winner, and that was we have a little tournament every year, and that was the championship of that tournament, and the whole crowd was there. Everyone from Morrilton was there. They watched it. They loved it. Everyone was really excited whenever I went in. It was just crazy.
Take us through your mindset. You're getting ready to go hit a game winner. Game's on the line. What goes through your mind? What kind of mode do you go into knowing that you have to hit the shot?
Whenever I get the ball, I knew the ball was coming to me, and I was just whenever I get this ball, this shot is going in. I was going to put it in the basket somehow, some way, just to get the win.
And you still have a lot of time to develop. 2 more years we talked about, but the kind of player you want to be, what can Arkansas fans expect from you? What will you bring to Arkansas?
You're going to get a winner for sure. You're going to get someone that will win no matter what.
Is there a player, rather a former Arkansas player, just an NBA player that you kind of compare yourself to or you think you play a lot like?
I think I'll play Tyler Hero because people really doubted him for a while, and then he just showed up at every level that he's ever been at, and I feel like that's me because people said I wouldn't be able to play my last year because they thought I wasn't very good, and then I went up and did what I did, and then people saying I won't be able for college, and I'm ready to prove them wrong that I am ready for college, and I'm one of the best players in the country.
And there's a lot of players. We always hear these stories, but it's just kind of God stories. We talked about you not having a high major offer up until April when Kansas came in, and all of a sudden you look at yourself, you have 20 or so offers that are big time programs. Seeing the way God kind of works in your life and got you to the place you're at now, what's like looking back over the past few months?
It's absolutely crazy. I hurt my knee and I thought I was done for it. I didn't know how bad the injury was or anything. And then just a couple weeks later, I get an offer from Kansas, and that's absolutely crazy. And that just kind of showed me he was working in my life, not to be fearful. And I was ready, and it helped me get back to basketball shape. It inspired me, really.
When would you say you saw yourself becoming a high major player and becoming now a top 100 kind of prospect?
I didn't really see it till ninth or 10th grade year, because people always told me about it, but I never believed them. I thought they were just being nice to me because we were cool like that.
Now, was that something that was it from a tournament game to something, or was it just over time it kind of built up the confidence?
So we played Strive for Greatness my ninth grade year at the first UIBL game, and I had 20 on them, and I had 18, I think, and that kind of just that blew my mind. That made me feel 100% more confident. It made me feel like I was really one of the best players in the country.
And there are many kids growing up, both right now that will come up in the future, that don't necessarily have the high platform. They may be in a state that doesn't get a massive spotlight on them. How do you make it out? How do you become a noteworthy player like yourself?
You just keep your head down. You just keep working. The recognition will come for sure if you really just work hard and you just show out whenever at the right time. It'll come for sure.
Let's get a little bit more into your faith before I let you go. I know you're a believer. Kind of discuss your faith. How has God helped get you to the point you're at today?
And he's just really helped me all throughout my life. I've been a blessed person for sure my whole life. He's just always helped me. I've always prayed before I make decisions, and he's always had me make the right decision, and that just keeps me believing for sure.
And there's always rocky time with faith. You mentioned how you had your knee injury, and some people that are believers sometimes fade away from the faith, sometimes start doubting God when that happens. How do you keep your faith strong during hard times like that?
I just know God always has a plan, and his plan will always be better than what you could ever imagine.
You're going to have a higher and higher platform the next 2 years of high school, college, and hopefully pros after that. How do you plan to be able to spread God's word?
I'll post about it as much as I can because, that's how people really get their source of information now. You just look at Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and all that. I just make sure I post God's word as much as I can, spread it to as many people who don't know him, just trying to help them out.
Without a doubt, man. My final thing, tell Arkansas fans your three biggest goals you have set for your Arkansas career.
I want to win I want to win 4 national championships, all 4 years. I want to become one of the best players they've ever had. And I just want to help as many people as I can, just learn about God whenever I get there. Just help as much as I can.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations once again. Good luck this upcoming season, man. Keep being a light.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Of course, you're always welcome on, man. God bless.
God bless.